Do you want a fishy?
Hello, good evening. Twin Minds here. We're finally attempting to start off spooky season. Gently easing into it. And we're starting off with Strange Antiquities. Spooky season is officially like, I don't know, 2 days away, 1 day away, something like that. So let's get started, shall we? Previously we had done Strange Horticulture. Saved the world from a summoned elder god by a cult that was never doing well. And now we shall retire to a nice shop, I guess? Certainly, it won't be that easy. Who knows? Hello, Tux. Balloona. And this game was kindly gifted to me by the One. So thank you, the One, who is not here currently, but... Oh, never mind, there he is. Hello. Hello, the One. Your ears must have been burning. So let's begin, shall we? We did play the demo of this in a previous Next Fest. And at the time, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I may have been a little bit more critical of it than I should have been. But it was still nice. And now that I've played Strange Horticulture, I now have a little bit more understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing. So let's do that. No, that's from June, from the Next Fest. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I don't want it. As a thaumaturgist's apprentice, there's a lot to learn. Every object must be treated with care, and it's important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the impotent. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop, strange antiquities in my hands. None of us knew by then the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. The ravens were an omen, a circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed even then to signal the start of a rising dread. At least it was only an unkindness and not a murder. Kitty. Kitty. Okay. Pleasant. Sure. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I have control over the moon! Let's put that back where I found it. Oops, broke something. Okay, put that back where I found it. Thank you very much. We got weights. We got monkey's paw. We got kitty. Oh, I can move my candles. We have this little happy fella. Ah, we have a... Ah, I see. Reminder, I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. Ew. Ew. Oh. Okay. On thaumic fields, all thaumic objects produce a field of sorts. Although invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a thaumic lens. A diurnic field pattern depicted here. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over the years. Okay. You've got a detailed plant game. Which one is it? Because I know there was a detailed plant game recently, but it didn't have any gameplay. It was just plants. Like, you could design and grow your own plants and stuff. It was like purely a sandbox type of deal. Wholesome something something. Great. Right. Ah, it's too hot. Alright, so on Thamic Fields. Got the ding. I found an exploration because we found the map of Undermere. This is wonderful. So previously we did not have Undermere directly. We just had kind of like the overworld, the nearby region, and we could only really visit, I think, Undermere as a city, not specific locations within. Nope. 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 Oh, okay. I'm wasting my time here. Did not intend to do such a thing. I was attempting to back out of the map. It's fine. We also got a little dingly-doo. We got a dingly... Well, that's probably not what's supposed to happen. Alright, so... Close all those. How do I make you go away? How do I make... There we go. There we go. Okay, so we got more doodads. That looks kind of fun. You guys can go hanging up with the rest. Sure, I'll need them eventually. Send me a link, Ducks, and I'll take a look at it. Alright, and we have some more doodads locked behind out here. I don't think I have anything that matches that at the moment. Although... No. No, I do not. Just, you go away. Alright. Yes, hi, hello. Hello, welcome. Oh, it's Eli. Our buddy. I have been called away to assist an urgent matter in Ravenglass and must leave at once. I am leaving the shop in your care, with some reluctance, I might add. Make use of my reference material. Here, take this. Okay. There's an index in the back that may be useful to you. If in doubt, study it carefully. And remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. In fact, safest not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. Okay. Okay. Strange Artifacts. A Guide to Occult Objects by T.S. Gill. Ecumenical, Ares Remnant, Binding Seed, etc., etc. Index. Okay, so these are all the various references. Black Heart is referenced in the lamb symbol. Sorry, lamb siphon. Used to reverse the effects of the Black Heart curse. A skilled hand is required to perform the procedure, drying the curse from the body over the course of several hours. The instrument is made using dried seed pod of a sheep snap plant. Now, there may be several references in this to the previous game, and I will most likely not catch many of them. So pardon me. I do believe I remember this one because it was the anal bead plant. But beyond that, there may be so much I can remember here. Well, that guy's funny looking. Okay, so we got a lot of reference materials, and we gotta wait until someone really tells me what they need before I go too far into the mess. Okay. There was the Hand of Glory was in there. Or are you talking about in my shop? Are you sure that was the severed left hand of a hanged man, or was that the monkey's paw? Withered flesh. Grim. Gold. brass, and polished wood. Lovely. Sorry, kitty. Hello, Senior Pope. Congratulations. Today is the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. That's me. I'm a man who loves... a man of two loves. Fresh mountain air and a little white dog called Hamish. But I reserve some room for laughter among friends and shops with cats in them. If you'd be so kind, I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Hunter's boon. Alright. That is the extent of the information you're going to provide to me. Gotcha. Hunter's boon. Hunter's boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from deadliest predators being the most prized. They are simple items without embellishment. Okay. So, I only vaguely remember some of this from playing the demo. And I remember that a lot of the clues were very subtle. So I'm going to try to remember some of them. But I'm probably not going to remember some of them. So color and composition, we have the yellowy brown and yellowy white color. It is smooth, with hard ridges. It sounds like nothing. And it gives me a sensation of power. Okay. So this looks to be a carnivore's canine of some form that completely lacks embellishment. So this feels like it's the right one. And again, we don't really have much more information to go on other than this description here and the hint of the wolf. So I'm going to go with this one. And yes, if Sparkle were here, she would be very sad about my manual labeling process. Why? Make that go away. Here, have that. This is Tiger's Tooth, trophy from a predator. On closer inspection, it gives a sense of power. And he has given us information about the Selenic Totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes, associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. Now, I remember this one. I remember being pissed off about this one. I remember this one. You told her. Oh no, I've been told on. Gila. 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 Kitty. There was a full hair swoosh. Okay, Sparkle, that's fair. Enjoy your other things you're doing. Alright, I know this isn't supposed to go there. I'm just going to set that there. Cat, would you like to play with it? Would you like to... No? Not going to bap it off the shelf? Okay, I'll find me that way. Find me that way. It's kind of like Strange Horticulture in that we are running a shop and we are keeping stock. So we may have multiple of them in the back. They never really explain it, honestly. It's kind of up to our imagination. Yes, the main premise of the game is identifying things to give people what they are asking for. Usually in the most vague sense possible that they are asking. And then we give them the thing that they want, and then pull out another one from the back shelf or something like that. How strange. Ow, Gila, that hurt. Gila, that hurt. That was a whole flap of skin you just carved off my hand. Yeah, what? I literally have a divot in my hand now from him carving out a chunk. That's gonna sting a bit. Alright, fine, be that way. Gila. Jack Hungerford. The nights are drawing in again. Dark shadows hide dark deeds, or so my father used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he passed 2 winters gone. A creeping dark has set up in my house. I'm told a shadow hold will draw it out. Shadow hold, you say? Let us find said shadow hold. A shadow hold, or oshatic vessel, is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or a bottle or some sort of box, can be used to contain an oshatic spirit, a manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound. They are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. Now this one, hopefully, will be easy to find. We need to get a bottle. This looks like a bottle. That looks like a bottle with the correct design. It is 45 degrees canted sideways, but it is the correct symbol. No, it is not the correct symbol. Is it? Yeah, that's the correct symbol. Yeah, that's the correct symbol. Okay. So this is your that's right. We have to be creative with our descriptions. So let's see. Clay, cork. Great. Hard and rough. Carved markings and spongy cork. Pungent. Nothing. Nothing to say about your brain. Okay. And we don't have anything else that seems to match the description. So here you go. There is no lick. We cannot lick the artifacts. There's the hydrate button pushed. But yes. Gila keeps his back nails real talony, no matter how many times I clip them. So I just gotta do it again and hope for the best. Sun Bond. A sun bond is a small and lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly and made of non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone of light. They carry the warmth and light of the sun, a brightness that can pierce the darkest gloom. There's an auto-labeling set. I know! I'm not doing that. That's true. Licking the bone would have been a good test. But we're not allowed to lick it. Okay, so let's do this. Because he told me that he left items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. So first off, let's find out where we are. We are Strange Antiquities number 29, so we are here. And the wine merchant next door is either of these two. So, that one. The proprietor, a Mrs. Cranmore, begrudgingly grants me access to the cellar when I explain that I am from Strange Antiquities next door. Yes, well, take a lot of them out of here, would you? I can't say no to Eli after all he's done for me. But I don't like the thought of those unnaturals in my cellar. We got a trinket, and a bottle. Gila, shush your face. These two may look at each other. can go... Sure. Alright, so that note is done. Get it back in the drawer. Thalmic Fields, I don't know what to do with that yet, so we're leaving that right there. You can just go here. Also, I was not paying attention earlier. It doesn't... Okay, never mind. There's 4 missing, now that I look closer. So we're going to need to find 4 of them and then put them in the appropriate pattern. I don't see an appropriate pattern. Because, like, that's that. So that goes there. And then of the 4 missing spots... Ah, down there. There it is. That goes there. Just stay right there. Next. David Schaffer. What's with all these ravens flying about Undermere today? Can't remember ever seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be the sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. I am vaguely sure I gave him a very rough southern accent last time. Don't remember for sure. But this is our recurring mailman. We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. They look old. Maybe there's nothing of much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the Shin. Was that the Shinin? Alright, Charlie, thank you. I don't know what to make of that information, so we're just gonna put that in a drawer for later perusal. He's the mailman. He does his duty. Sorry, kitty. I want an Osik ring. Osik. That's a pleasing word to hold on the tongue. Alright. You do you, bud. Osik ring. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as offerings to the goddess Korchen, but the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say that they can hear Korchen's unearthly hiss when they hold an Osik ring up to their ear. Korchen, the serpent goddess. So we got Harry Potter here speaking in slithering tongues. And we need to find an Osik ring for him. Do I have an Osik ring? I have several rings. There are many ring-like objects here, including an eyeball that's looking at me funny. I have nothing to remark, you say. Green marble. It's cool and smooth. Smells like nothing. And apparently brings nothing to mind when looking at it. Alright, where's my Osik ring? This is not the Osik ring. At least I don't believe so. I mean, it could be. Uneven texture. Smells and sounds like nothing. Gives my brain no tingly feelings. Got a ring made of ear bones? No, I did not. Not that I'm aware of. Alright, so we're looking for a braided pattern. Well, I guess that could have been the Osik ring. Because we're looking for kind of like a spirally pattern, almost braided, but just twisted, I guess. and then possibly resembling two serpents in kind of a loop. But my sound should have given me something. So I would think that my holding onto my ear would have done something. Sounds are muffled in its presence. Ah, there we go. A soft sound, like a serpent's whisper, emanates from within. So apparently it's just made of bone. Shh. Stop whispering at me. Because, yeah, this doesn't really tell you anything about what it should look like. But we got the hissy bits. It's bone. Bone and brown twine. So this is the very cheap object here. Feels like bone. Hisses at me. It has some evil quality to it. I do not like to hold it. Alright. Evil. There you go, bud. Ossock ring, made of bone. Ah, macabre. Okay, I guess that fair. Evocant. These stone items weigh the same as a man's heart, according to popular myth. The truth is a little less dramatic, but the weight of these items is nevertheless important and should not stray more than a hair from precisely 1 pound. They are placed on the chest of those in a coma to draw them out. So, that wasn't actually very descriptive. It just says it's a stone thing that happens to weigh about 1 pound. So, should we attempt to identify any of them prior, or should we just should we just wait for people to ask for stuff? Yes, the one. Yes. Like this. This is a floaty rock. What do you weigh? More than 1 pound. Fair. How about you? And when I said more, I mean less than 1 pound, because I know how weights work. Everything else that's stone. Oh. That one's equal. But yeah, the clues and the whatnot. So Evocant weighs the same as a man's heart. That's it. No description of what it should look like. Just its weight, that it's made of stone. That's it. There was another one that I wanted to get out of the way early, and I have now forgotten which one it is. It's one we just recently got a clue for. I have already forgotten. Wasn't the Sun Bond, that was a new one. No. No. Selenic Totem, this is the one. Okay. So, I don't recall, when we played the demo, what image was here. But I remember struggling with this one because it was the first time I had played a game of this type, really. So I was struggling with the obscurity of the clues, but also the image on the side here. I'm pretty sure it just had an image of the moon. I don't recall the owl being there, and I remember complaining about this one because there were like 4 options that kind of fit the description of this one. Primarily, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. And we have a crescent-shaped object here, We had crescent-shaped object here, crescent-shaped object here. We have a bat here that is of the night. There was another crescent-shaped object I don't recall. There was one that was not. There's the moon crescent-shaped object. So ultimately, it's this one because it's an owl and it's of the night and has the crescent shape here that I wasn't seeing because I wasn't seeing the owl for its horns. And I was really struggling with this one, and we eventually got it. I think Sparkle ended up having to tell me which one it was. So I wanted to get this one out of the way because I don't want to forget it again. Solanic Totem, yes. I suppose we can change the shape of these too, can't we? Yes. Oh, we got different icons. I forgot about that. Oh god, there's so many icons. You. Perfect. We need to gussy these up a little bit. Hang on. So you're the hunter's boon. We'll give you a blood red. You can have like a dog tag that you put on a collar. And then we need something pointy. We need something kill related. We need something murdery. Not too many symbols in here I could attribute to murder. Here. Kind of, it looks like a leaf, but it also kind of sort of looks like a drop of blood. It's good enough. The bleeding moon would work, yes. Let's do that instead. There we go. And then you... Snaky. Snaky. That'll do. Okay. Next. Sorry, kitty. Edmund Bishop. The behavior of these ravens is disturbing to say the least. As a rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivorous, carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons into. And they'll kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there, and I'd like to know what. A voice of Cernunnos might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. Alright. A voice of Cernunnos. I see. He's got snakes too. Okay. The name Voice of Cernunnos is used to refer to any bronze torque that has certain imbued properties. There we go. With skills, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Cernunnos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag and often wearing or holding a torque. So, the torque. The torque. This is also one that tripped me up a little bit, but not enough because I understood what a torque was. For anyone not familiar with a torque, this is a torque. Can I... Hold on. Brain. Where's my torque symbol? Where's my torque symbol? Where's my torque symbol? We got no torque symbol? I like the opposite of a torque symbol. Perfect. Well, let's give you that one. And you can be white. No, you can be bronze. No. That's too complimentary. I can give you white. You did a university thing on bog bodies and a torque came up? I mean, bog bodies are typically in, at least the ones that most commonly are referenced to, are in like the Scottishy type region where that particular faith may have come up. Gila, you have no right to yell at me, sir. No, you have no right. Every one of your needs has been filled, and you have even gotten your blood sacrificed for the day. Okay, you got no right. All right, you may have your torque, sir. Spirit Eye. There are some who stay away from spirit eyes, believing them to be a window into the world that should not be seen, and others who deride their fear as nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show. Another layer beneath the visible world, perhaps, a layer that requires something more than the traditional sense to experience. They draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. Alright. Sir. Sir. He wants me to follow him, because he is standing at the door, and every time I get up to look at him funny, he bolts. Like, that's his clue that I need to come follow him. However, sir, I am otherwise occupied. Alright. End of day 1. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach Backbarrow. Okie dokie. Gila. Shush. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. Okay. 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 Where's our prison? Da, 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 da. The old jail, number 10. That is not the button I meant to click. The old jail, number 10, ran northwest and ducked into the first building he came to. So either this one or this one. I must have taken a wrong turn. This wasn't meant. Okay. Alright, fine. This one. Whoosh. The dilapidated warehouse is dark and imposing, and the struggling flame of my lantern does little to pierce its depths. I slowly search through its contents with a sense of despair, wondering if I'm even in the right place at all, when suddenly and unexpectedly I uncover something of value. More relieved than elated, I take the trinket back to the shop for further study and a warm drink. Now, more relieved than elated. Those would not be the feelings that I would attribute to this find. Because this person, whoever we are in this scenario, had some sort of vision at night of a trinket, an object, being hidden by a man on the run, I don't know if I would feel relieved or elated if I went to follow up on that dream only to find out it was real. I don't know if I'd feel the same way. I think I'd especially feel less the same way if that were the item I found. Curious. How much do you weigh? Too much! You go over here with the bloody hand. Bloody hand and bloody claw. You were looking at Denmark and thereabouts. Okay. The only ones I typically hear about are like the Scottish peat bogs and stuff like that. That's the blood corner. In fact, here we go. You can go there. Great. Should I tentatively label this one as the heart, whatchamacallit? Because it's the only stone object I've got currently that matches the trend. Nope, that's not the one. Yeah. Evocant, that was the one. Let's tentatively label you. Everything swings when I move. Yeah. We've just got that level of gravitas behind us. Ah, you. Verona Green. Ah, well, that's just perfect. Under mere fizzing with fear over these ravens, and this thaumaturge has left his apprentice in charge. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out of the wrong side of the bed. These ravens have got under my skin is all. Please do let Eli know I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. Okay. I love how okay is my only dialogue option. Okay, so this is the Hermetic Symbology by Quentin Holmes. Now we gotta start identifying symbols and stuff. Thaumic disciplines. There are 3 branches of thaumaturgy. Each of these is split into 2 disciplines, represented by the following symbols: Celestial, Selenic and Daedric, of the moon and of the earth; Diurnal, Diurnic and Noctic, of the day and night; and Individual, Mentic and Wixic, of the mind and of the body. And then we have various imbuements of kinds of things: elements and materials, mundane elements and planetary metals, seasons and weather, Wicca, and that's it. I am positive that will make sense at some point. Next. Tess Sherwood. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I heard a horn shackle might be the answer. I don't think that's right, but sure, that's one way to look at the solutions. Horned shackle. Horn shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn or smooth over the years. They can be worn as pendants, but are more commonly totems of some kind. Alright, so we're looking for something with horns. Horn? Horn. Antler. Hornish. Horn. I think it was the goat. Wood. Rough and pitted, but this part feels smooth, so the horns have been rubbed over time. It does not smell of anything, and it does not brain of anything. So I do believe this is our totem. Horned shackle. What symbol do we need? We need something horny, of course. It will do. Ma'am, here is your goat of rubbing +3. Not a massager, but a visager. I do believe that is not typically the term used for a massager. Even one that is used for other things. But a visager does sound about right. Kind of like vajazzle. A visager can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. Among other oddities, flames burn pale blue in their presence. Alright. Bye, lady. Thank you for telling me of your visager, I guess. Key. Yes. The visager keeps your visage from spreading infectious things. Indeed. Yes, spiritualists and other assorted folks do tend to get very uppity if you don't do things right. Ding! Oh, hi, David. How's Mail doing? At least the weather's looking a little better out there today. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plow overturned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours. For the right price, of course. Kind regards, John Royston. Well, let's go visit his farm then. Oh, what's this? Important names and people. I see. So we'll read up on these peeps later, but we'll also read up on the cat. Devourer of souls. Jupiter is the thaumaturge's cat, or more accurately, Eli is Jupiter's thaumaturge. Jupiter found strange antiquities, perhaps drawn to the curiosities within, and made it his home. Eli was more than happy to accommodate him, but he learned early on that Jupiter was his own master. His business is his own, but it largely consists of regular naps, terrorizing rodents, and midnight explorations of Undermere and beyond. What he does on his excursions is a mystery, but he seems to be well known among the town's residents. Good for you, Jupiter. Good for you. It's true, plows are really good at upturning strange antiquities. No visits by the cat. Unfortunate. Okay. Are there any other buttons I need to be aware of? Ah, the archive. Yes. That's not the button I expected for that. I don't have the tarot card anymore, so that got burned up instead of going to the archive, but that's fine. Sure, we're trying to go to the farm. We're going to Royston Farm specifically, so 30 down here. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of its value quickly evaporates, and after a lengthy negotiation, I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. Okay. Pretty bird. Good day, sir. Well, in that case, then, that can just go to archive, because that's done. Yes. Kitty has multiple colored eyes. Good kitty. Bird. Bird. Ding. Julia Braddock. Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed last night on Princess Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark. On important business, no doubt. I wonder if you can help me? I'm visiting my grandmother later, and I wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone on the edge of town, out on Clanbrook Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. Just bring her yourself, ma'am. That's all she needs. Just bring her yourself. I thought maybe a moonheart would bring her some comfort. Ah, moonheart, you say. Moonheart. Moonheart. That had a different name. Moonheart. Moonheart. I know it was an alt Moonheart. Selenic Totem. That was what it was. Ah, the owl. Right. This is when I struggled with the owl during the demo. Crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Noctic disciplines. Now, if we refer to the Selenic and Noctic disciplines, I don't think that will help me much. Oh, I can't. Oh, God. There's no index. I can't go back easily. Selenic of the moon, Noctic of the night. It makes a lot of sense, actually. But that doesn't really help, because these symbols are irrelevant in terms of the object itself. But, pretty sure, you would like an owl named Sailor Moon. Carved totem, owl associated with the night, bears a concealed crescent shape, and imparts a feeling of joy. Holgengrim. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holgar in various rituals relating to death and the afterlife. The sacrament to ask for his protection, Wolf's Song Truth to seek his judgment, Path of the Warrior to help the dead find their way. Sure. Those things make sense. Absolutely. Bye. Have fun with your grandma. A pyramid scheme selling healing crystals. I almost got roped into a pyramid scheme selling houses. That was fun. Selling houses. Real estate. Knife sets, yeah. There's a lot of pyramid schemes out there, unfortunately. Okay, we don't have any current clues to follow up on. At least not that I can think of. Ah, this one. Hidden destroyer in the boatyard. I need to go to the boatyard. 23 is the Mary Bell. Do we have... I mean, there's plenty of boat-related yards over here. Jacob's Folly. Maribel. The Boatyard. There we go. One's just straight up called the Boatyard. The yard has seen better days. A mess of broken, rotted timbers cover most of the outdoor space that isn't taken up by upturned boats, slowly being claimed by the weeds. In the middle of all this, a man looks up from repairing a small rowing boat. "You must be from strange antiquities," he says with a smile. He takes me to a dilapidated office where 2 metal buckets collect drips of brown water and a thin window pane rattles with every footstep. He pulls a sheaf of brown papers out of a desk drawer and places them gently in my hands. Okay. Okay. More book contents. I'll read those later. Apparently as an afterthought, and somewhat reluctantly, the man gives me something else as I'm leaving. "I have no use for it," he says. "I don't even know what it's for." Okay. Bling. We've got a statue thing. You can go right there. Great. Great. Okay. Now, this we still don't have anything for, I don't believe. Are there anything else? No, nothing else really. Okay. Ding. Daisy Winters. A friend of mine, or former friend I should say, has been stealing jewelry from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including the one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying out for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make sure it never happens again? You will need to make a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. Now, that is an odd thing to say, because as of right now, I have no visibility to the events that are going on outside of my shop. So I don't know what it might be, or what I should be affecting. Maybe the person that's stealing her jewelry is a royal bitch and is about to, like, I don't know, commit some great jewelry atrocity. Or maybe this lady's the bitch and has been blaming someone for nothing because she's been just misplacing her jewelry and has a big hate on for this other lady. Who knows? How am I supposed to know? Binding Seed or Zia? Oh, that's definitely part of it, Dux. The rise of any sort of alternate healing is at least partly due to how expensive regular healing is and how people need to look for alternatives. But also the vast amount of misinformation that is allowed to be out there without being labeled as misinformation. Things allowed to be labeled as truth without verification. Yes, you hold the pendant by the string so it doesn't get... And you also don't put it on. The act of putting it on is what applies the effect to your person. Alright, I have literally forgotten what we were talking about. I was distracted. Zia was one of them. Worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart. These innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They can be difficult to remove. Zias are made of any single material except wood or clay. They typically have no symbol or other writings upon their surface. Okay. Any single material except wood or clay, with no symbols. So this one is clay, I believe. Yeah. This one is a single material, all bronze, but it's kind of very ornate. Not that I'm eager to give her the evil amulet of doom. Single material. Tarnished silver. Single material without stuff. Iron, blue glass. I don't know if I actually have a pendant of the appropriate kind for her. At least for the evil side of things. Because all my pendants are rather ornate. Bronze with iron, that's 2 materials. This is wood and stone. This is very ornate bronze. This is also ornate bronze. This is ornate tarnished silver. This is 2 materials. This is several materials. This is a very ornate glowing eyeball. This one's already labeled. And this one is gold, gemstone, gold, wood, multiple materials. Over here we have very ornate, several materials, already labeled, and bat, gemstone, and iron. So I don't actually have a Zia, at least not one that I can readily identify as a Zia. Okay. And the other one was a binding seed. These items are made of 2 distinct materials, representing the menthic and the wixic, the mind and the body. The winding path, the mind, is described by a spiral encompassing the body, the seed. A binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies the feeling of guilt and shame. Okay. So this one adds guilt and shame, the other one fear and terror, or something along those lines. So of the 2, making her feel guilty for her crimes is better than making her feel fear and paranoia. So I do believe this was the binding seed. The stone with the spiral wrapping around it. Cool and smooth, rough and gnarled. Smells of nothing. I don't like how this makes me feel. Rude. It would be lovely if I could identify the Zia as well, but again, I don't think I have it. And if I do, I don't know where it is. Which is probably for the best. The seed of shame, we shall call it. It could be in the caged area. There's 4 dangly things in there. This one looks to be made of stone but has a lot of symbols on it. This one's very ornate. Those 2 are both fairly ornate as well, so probably not. Curious. I'm very curious which one the Zia would be. Because I don't think I have it. But you shall have the seed of shame. Binding seed. Made of 2 materials, wood and stone, with a spiral surrounding a seed. Shield charm. Generic charms of protection have little to offer the skilled thaumaturge, but have some small effect. An Oceanic spirit or a wandering shroud will not abide them, for example. Such charms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thaumaturgy. They can be made from a variety of materials, though rarely precious metals. Okay. So hopefully the fact that we don't have the Zia is a good sign. That we're not going to be out there doing harm. Emmett Burrows. They found a man just now in that house where all them ravens were. Wish I hadn't seen, but I did. He was sheet white, but it was his eyes that are going to give me nightmares. All black they were. It was like he weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Sedberg. I'll be taking a Libula to see us safely through. Libula. What's your Libula? Libulae are purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that a Libula is not merely decorative. There is power in symbology, as the old thaumaturge knows well. So I do believe this symbol is supposed to hint at what the Libula might look like. An imbuement of wisdom. So this is probably the imbuement of wisdom symbol, triangle, circle, star, with sun with a moon in the middle. But let's look at the imbuements. This one. I wanna call it the cult of the Lamb Crown. What's that, Dux? Where is that one for me? This one. I have nothing to remark. I have nothing to remark. Raised detailing, made of bronze. Now, the Libula description tells me nothing about what it's made of, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it smells like. The only real clue is sort of this, which gives me the wrong symbol to look at. The wrong symbol, by the way. And the fact that there's kind of like ornate, spirally, leafy patterns going on, and then the imbuement of wisdom. So this is where this game really gets to me sometimes, because it is, I would say, forcefully misleading. But this, I do believe, is the thing we're looking for. Do I have my imbuement of wisdom symbol in here somewhere? I don't think so. Ah, there we are. Let's give you green. Take it, man. Good luck on your journey. Be safe. I have only had lamb once, and it was indeed delicious. The item bears the symbol of wisdom. Yep, that is the only clue, even after identifying it. The only clue that gives it away. Witch's finger. Witch fingers are said to be the severed digits of the Witch of Undermere. They are capable of inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly purification of the body. A most unpleasant experience, but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. Finished off, you say? Oh my. Meow. 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 Come here. Closed. Pet the kitty. Go to bed. A deep pain radiated down the side of the rider's head where he had sliced himself with the diverging hook, and his thoughts were scattered and torn. He could not see out of his left eye. Now, I do wonder where this one is going to go. Because... Interrupting Kitty says, what? Yeah, I thought so. The first one was a very... let's go with loosely defined story that was going on day by day. And as we got near the end, we realized that the story that they've been telling was the story of the girl who was triggering the apocalypse. So I am curious where this one's going to go. Gila. Sad kitty noises. However, loud face. However, loud face. However, loud face. Could I convince you maybe to stop making those noises? Could I convince you to stop, perhaps? Meh. Kitty, tell me. If only you could really see his face. His face of concern. Beans. Sir, I'm gonna need you to lay off the guilt trips, please. Stop with the sad, whiny kitty noises. Trying to make me feel bad like I'm not doing enough to keep care of you. You got everything you need. You got everything you need. Even attention at the drop of a hat. I have caught the kitty. He is attempting to escape. He is trying to escape. Those were his tickle spots. No, you stop. He really desperately wants me to follow him. He really does. So let's do that. Like, even after all that, he still wants me to follow him, which means he's desperate for whatever it is. Okay. That probably lines up with something on the map. Probably. Okay, but before we do that, Kitty needs attention. So. BRB. And we're back. I think I have appeased the kitty temporarily. He wanted to be chased around the house and roughed up a little bit. So that's what happened. Alright. So next. Ding. No, not ding. We look at the clue. The clue was this, which is either the shape of a street or the shape of a building or set of buildings. I don't see any offhand that look right. This one is pretty close, but not quite. Yeah, let's zoom in. So this one is fairly close, but not quite. Prince's Street. It does look kind of the part. I'm not seeing any that match the part really. This one is close, tilted crookedly, but not quite. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Because this is intended to be an exploration. That symbol right there is exploration. And we could try it. Peeling paint and hollow corridors hum with echoes of hushed voices. The stench of death clings to the stale air, turning my stomach. I have no desire to linger. Alright, fine. The only other thing I can think of is if we go to like a new city at some point that has a different set of buildings. Or I'm just straight up not seeing it, which is very possible. It's also possible that the shape that we're getting is the negative instead of the positive. So instead of buildings, this is like the space between buildings or left over between buildings. Do I see that at all? Not really. This one's kind of close. Is that it? This right here? No, that can't be it. It's got the little hook. The shapes are wildly off. Let's try it. Let's take a wrong turn. Okay. Alright. I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take hold. I never really quite figured out what the symbol is. And by the way, it's under my face. This little meter goes up whenever I do something wrong for the day. Which typically only happens if I try to explore too much. But it doesn't really give me information about what it do, other than green is probably good, red is probably bad. Let's take a peek one more time. Oops, that's the opposite of the button I wanted to push. Guild Street was the other one you mentioned, which I have to find. Guild Street. Okay, that's kinda sorta. It's got the hook, but it's kind of a different hook, maybe. Like this one, maybe? Because this would be the street. This would be the deep bit. This would be the hook bit. But that doesn't really line up here. We can try it. I don't know which one it would be. Like this one, maybe? This was a mistake. Oh no. My dread is rising. Alright, let's continue the day and we'll deal with that later. Francesca Robertson. Good afternoon. No, morning. Good morning. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm Francesca Robertson, a doctor of sorts. I assume you heard about Mr. Hungerford? It seems to be the talk of the town already. I'm used to dealing with maladies of an occult nature, but black eyes are certainly unusual. I've heard of something like this before, but I don't see how it could be the same thing. Either way, I'm hopeful an evocant will have some effect. Ah. Right. Evocant. That thing that I have tentatively labeled as the evocant question mark. So I clicked on this part of Princess Street because this part of Princess Street with the hook being here and this part being roughly here, it's all three of these together. So even if I didn't click on the right one, it's like this whole collection of things for Princess Street. At least that's how I'm reading it, map-wise. And this one, they were more segregated out. So I clicked on this one. It could be this one. But yeah. As far as I can tell, I clicked on the matching part of Princess Street. Why would it be this one? Because I'm referring to this loopy bit here. If we rotate this like 45-ish degrees this direction, this bit here is the matching loopy bit. And that loopy bit does, you're right, points away from the gold. So that means the gold bit would be here, which is where I clicked, because this is the loopy bit that loops this way and points this direction. And this is the gold bit. Unless you're talking... See, I'm looking at the white space, and maybe you're talking about the building space. And looking the opposite direction. This would be the gold space if we're talking about the opposite direction. Which I guess kind of sort of fits. Kind of sort of. Hang on, lady, hold tight. We're clicking. We're going on an adventure, lady. You get to sit in my shop for a bit. You're right. You're right. I was for some reason I was reading the blank space behind the buildings instead of the buildings. So I was literally reading the invert of what I should have been reading. There's a narrow gap between the two houses, and I spy a small wooden chest wedged firmly inside. Slowly I manage to work it loose, and when it finally comes free, it shoots out onto the hard ground and snaps open, revealing its long-hidden treasures. Treasures. I got treasures. Thanks for waiting, lady. I was otherwise occupied. Treasures. So, Evocant. Referring back to the Evocant. Again, no real clues to work with, other than it's about a pound. So, that is the only stone object that I have, that I'm aware of, that weighs almost precisely a pound. You are far less than a pound. You are far more than a pound. You are also more. That's, I missed. You are far more than a pound. This was the one that did not go on the... Excuse you. Excuse you. Go on the frackin' thing. There we go. You weigh precisely a pound. Otherwise, stone objects, we got this thing that weighs much less than a pound. That was iron. This is you're a stone object. Much more than a pound. This is a combination stone, etc. Much less than a pound. So I think that has to be the Evocot, just because it's the only thing that I've got that's even of the right weight. So the symbol, let's start here. Red paint, or perhaps blood. Stone. Hard and cool. Smells of nothing. Looks of nothing. So it's got a circle, line, cross, spirally doodad. She is hoping that the Evocant will have some effect on the black eye situation. Placed on the chest of those in a coma to draw them out. Okay. Look at symbology for a moment here. Of the body, that doesn't help much. I was clicking the wrong thing. Symbology doesn't help much in this case. So, how's about we roll with it and hope that we're right? Yay. Made of stone. Weighs exactly 1 pound. Or tiny I LB. Because this font is a little bit weird. Daedalus Link. A Daedalus Link is a powerful object capable of producing a levitation field. The field is extremely fragile, however, so it would be prudent not to take risks. These items are surprisingly light in weight. Their designs vary, but they might point to some facet of flight, a feather, or the wings of a bird, or insects, for example. Levitation field, you say? That's kind of neat. This one's a levitation field. It's also very light. How much is it? It is slightly less than a half a pound. And it is levitating, so that would make sense. Let's tentatively label you as Daedalus. And then you are no longer tentatively labeled. I don't even have anything funny to say about you, sir. You are just... You are what you is. Fancy. And symbology didn't help either, so you don't even get a symbol. You vex me. No symbol for you. Yes. The only criteria were rock and pound. It could have literally been anything. Perfect. Because I hate that rock. It deserves the name. Supposedly, the guy's not dead. Supposedly, he's just out for the count and has black eyes. I remember someone saying something along the lines of he's not very responsive. It was this lady. Not Verona. I guess it was a lady that did not come up as a known named individual. Because this is the doctor that visited about the guy with black eyes, but we don't have the lady who told us about the guy that she found with black eyes to begin with. Yeah, I think it was the guy who was leaving town, maybe? Was it the guy who was leaving town? I don't remember for sure. Yeah, it might have been the guy who was leaving town, saw weird happenings, and decided to book it. I don't remember for sure, but it's not coming up in our list of people that we met, so that's fine. Okay. Clues. Clues? Clues. You're not a helpful clue. Go away. Next. Temperance Parker. I had quite a chat with Edmund Bishop in the Guilty Ram last night. He's always got an interesting story to tell, but last night he was different. I can tell he's worried, which has got me worried too. I know it's not much, but I'd like a shield charm all the same. Okay. I don't think I read much about the shield charms other than it was something people don't believe in. Generic charms of protection have little to offer the skilled thaumaturge, but have some small effect. An Oshetic spirit or wandering shroud will not abide them, for example. Such charms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thaumaturgy. They can be made from a variety of materials, though rarely precious metals. So, that helps. They make use of the art of symbology, so we know that there is a symbol. Cool. It's a good start. Do we have any symbols that refer to protection? Blessings? Planetary metals, mundane elements, materials. Urine is a material. Great, love it. Protection, okay. seems legit. Do we have anything with that symbol on it? Yes. You. You. Hi, Knight. Hi, friends. Hello, hi, welcome. Cheap metal, so not a precious metal. Okay, good. I do believe this is the one. I do believe this is the one. Something like that. How's it going, Knight? Hello, hi, welcome. Symbol. This is the wrong symbol. This is the right symbol. There we go. What are these antiquities? That's actually the entire purpose of the game, is trying to figure out what these antiquities are. So, good call. St. John's Anvil. These items have much in common with the St. John's poppy plant of the same name, a fact that is reflected in their designs. They have quite different uses, however. Whereas the plant helps to overcome deafness, an anvil will dampen sound. They can even be tuned to filter out certain noises, but allow others to be heard still. Alright. Sure? Pretty sure we used St. John's Anvil, or St. John's Poppy in the first game to help someone with their hearing problems. Get it. Get beans. Oof. Gimme. He very wiggle. He very much wiggle. Okay. Middle level on the right. I mean, that's where most of my pendants are, so that's something. You squirming. Yeah, there was one that I had that had something. Yeah, sounds are muffled in its presence. This is the one you're talking about. Something like that. I'll mark that as question mark until someone asks for it. Next. Sorry, kitty. There's something I wanted to show you. I didn't like the look of it, so I left it where I found it. What if it's cursed? It was hanging behind an old shed, all overgrown with ivy. Let me draw a quick map for you. There. Oh, okay. Great. Tiny little building next to potentially a church. At a fork in the road with another fork in the road. Some trees, a pond. Great. Love it. Let's bring you down here and take a peek. Trees, pond, little building right there. Fork. Yeah, right there. The shed is actually a wooden summer house that looks out over the pond, but it's clear it hasn't been used in some time. Thick brambles claw their way up and over one side of the structure, and ivy covers the rest in a mottled green cloak. I find what I'm looking for to the rear. Parts of the ivy have been torn away recently, revealing an amulet hanging from a rusted nail. Something else catches my eye as I reach for it, and I notice that there is another pendant hanging next to it, almost completely hidden by the ivy. Neat. No spoons, only forks. What are you doing? What are you doing? Silly bugger. You silly bugger. What are you doing? He decided he's going to rest on my head. That's fair. That's fair. You do you, kitty. You do you. This is now his place. You good up there? You good? I think he's good up there. His fluff is going up my nose though. I'm having problems. My nose itches now. Gizmo? Gizmo? You good? How you doing up there? You good? Yeah? Okay. He's good. He's real good. I can feel his paws just kind of curling occasionally in kitty happiness. He's good. He's got a new lease on life. He's got a new outlook. He's good. My neck isn't doing so great now, though. Gizmo, can I convince you to want to get down? Maybe? Would be nice. The one time that I don't have to fight him for squirming and struggling. And it's like this. There we go. Okay. There we go. Ah. Hi. Was that good? Was that a good spot? Yeah, that was a good spot. Okay. So we need a new dangle space. Because my dangle space is a little bit full. I guess this whole section over here could be dangles if I wanted. Let's put the bottle next to the bottle. More dangles. More dangles. The tree can come over here. More dangles. More dangles. More dangles. More dangles. These two can have their own little cubby down here. Did he do the thing when I wasn't looking? Did he do it? Thank you for the bit stucks. Gizmo performing for praise and treats and attention. Yes, Knight. We are definitely concerned that the entire building is moving to cause the dangles to move. This is not me moving across my shop. This is my shop moving across me. You can go right there. Okay. Ding. Sorry, kitty. Ah, Verona Green, you're back. Eli has picked a bad time to leave Undermere. I've come from Hungerford House, where I've been helping Dr. Robertson and looking for any clues about what happened there. There wasn't much to go on. I did find a shattered Oshadic vessel, but whatever did this was no creeping dark. There was a strange black stain on the flagstone floor that I didn't like the look of. And the ravens. Very unusual, but at least they seem to have dispersed. I don't know what to make of it. I'm going to take a trip to Gleeston Castle to see if Edmund Bishop can shed any light on their behavior. But first, I would like a visager. Whatever this is, we don't want it spreading. The old lady wants a visager. Did we ever decide what a visager was? Other than a poorly veiled euphemism? Flames burn blue in their presence. Okay, well, nothing I have has burned blue in the presence. Hang on. Trying to put things on the shelf. Okay. I can only assume it is a personal visager, but it has not really been made clear. You? I am honestly under the assumption that these candles will actually work. But maybe... Oh, you dirty rat. Okay. I was putting the things next to the candles. That wasn't working. I have to put the candles next to the thing. Oh, dirty rat. Well, we found the visager. That right there. I would call that a bug. Or at the very least, misleading game mechanics. I'm sorry. Oh, and now it works? I'm sorry, what? It has to be real close. Like, real close. Like, just sitting it on the shelf doesn't even work. I see. I see. I don't think we have a symbol that might do. It's a feminine personal visager. There we go. Cool. Cool. Just cool. Oh. Warm. Cool. Warm. Cool. Raised detailing. Cool gems. So it's warm on the bottom, cool on top. Neat. Stone. Gems. Silver inlay. Gold bottom. Okay. Neat. Ma'am, here's your personal visager for your trip. Use it wisely. Moonstone Guardian. I don't think it has a vibrate function, but it is warm or cool depending on which side you use, and it did appear to be ribbed. Moonstone Guardian for the banishment of Hobbs' fear and Noctic sight. These tend to take the form of a comforting guardian. That's useful information. A comforting guardian. Great. Love it. Huh, I just noticed we have a symbol for protection right here. Make sure to stay hydrated, ma'am. No flared base, that is concerning. But it's a visager. It's not meant for insertion. Alright. Next. 2 days earlier, the writer and his fellow adventurer were deep underground, exploring the tunnels below Kirkhead Tower, when they made a discovery. Their elation at their find would soon turn to horror. So maybe we don't have a bad actor in this one. Maybe we just have accidental unleashment of horrible beings. Key. That's right. It goes in the square hole. After disagreement between two houses, I was buried behind lock and key. Decent show, by the by. I have not read the comics, but I have watched the show. Pretty decent. Okay. Buried behind lock and key, you say. So here's lock house number 7, which is right here. So I guess that would be the simplest one to try. Ivy strangles the iron gate, creaking loudly as it opens. Behind dust-cloaked windows, somebody watches me approach the old house. I tap the brass door knocker, waiting for an answer that never comes. Okay. Buried behind lock and key. So lock house is there. 13 is Keystone Manor. So buried behind lock and key would be here. A large flat slab of granite marks the otherwise empty field. It bears an inscription. On this spot in the year 1813, Arthur Key did shoot and kill the beloved horse of Wellington Lock. Buried at the foot of the slab, I find an unlocked chest containing a handful of legal documents, as well as a pistol and another item that catches my attention. Okay. Neat. Design-wise, I kind of dig it. Like I kind of like the rough stone, the purple crystals. Funky shape. Kind of dig it. I don't know what it is, but I dig it. You go up in the dangly section, right there. What do you say about yourself? Slate, dark purple gemstones, and an unremarkable clasp. It is rough and polished, depending on which part we're looking at. Smells of nothing, and feels of nothing. Meow. 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 He's meowing at me. Gizmo, making little meowy noises. I haven't really pointed it out, but I really do dig the piano background music. Gentle, soothing. Plus the constant rain that we've got going on, and this very lovely rain-cloaked window that we've got. It's very pretty. Very ambient. Very lovely. Pet kitty. Okay, so we got the thingy. That's our only current clue that we can really work with, so ding. Ah, Eli, you're back. Would you like your store back, sir? Well, the shop is still standing, that's something. Say what you will about Undermere, but this town is never quiet for long. I leave for a few days and suddenly everyone's talking about ravens and curses. I'm gonna need to find Verona to get up to speed on what's going on. At least I didn't come away from Ravenglass empty-handed. We can always rely on quiet Susan to unearth an interesting trinket or two. Okay. Pot. We got a pot. Eli, come. He doesn't want to shop back. He just wants to go gallivanting about town. Alright, fair enough. Do you, bud. I'll man the shop. So, white feathers, pinkish gemstone, green porcelain, gold trim. Cool and smooth with soft feathers. Smells of rotten eggs, so we have sulfur or something inside. Or just a pot of rotten eggs, that's cool too. Feels of nothing. Yeah, fair enough. We got a pot of pot. Ding. Edith Moore. Ah, she's got the necklace. I am not a good person. I'm pushing away the only people I care about. Help me do better, please. I have to change, but I don't know how. What do you have that can help me banish my inner demons and make the changes stick this time? Ooh, we had a thing about banishing inner demons. What was that? Was that the twerk? Was that the twerk? Pagan god, antler, stag. Nope, that's no. Which was the one about banishing inner demons? Not the Labula. That was the protection. Oops. Ostic ring was the snaky thing, keeping vermin at bay. Selenic totem was feeling love and joy, but that's not quite what she's looking for. Shadow hold was just an actual dark spirit catcher. Shield charm was just protection. A Visager was preventing disease. It could be one that we haven't actually done yet. So let's look at the clues here. Horn Shackle. Yes, ability to overcome personal demons. Okay, that was the one. Because that was the, I think it was the redhead in the redhead in the green cloak that came by saying she needed to help with her inner demons. So we need to give her the goat. The goat. I love how they give you this. Like, this is a big old red herring right here. Horn shackle. Picture of a horn shackle. Absolutely not the horn shackle that we have on hand. We have a goat. Goat of rubbing +3. Feel better. So that was the lady who was stealing the necklaces from the other lady, and we gave her the necklace that made her feel guilt. And now she has come back. Now, if we made her feel terror, she probably would have asked for something else, and she might not have been in as good of a state as she was. So that was definitely a choice that came back. At some point, we're going to get a clue that tells us what this is about. We're going to get a clue that needs to have hours, minutes, and seconds, and probably a related symbol, or related moon sign. But I don't know what it is yet, so I'm just going to keep pulling it, because it's fun. Pet kid. Don't give a horn shackle to the same person as a Visager. Too much rubbing. Way too much rubbing. Although that would be a good way to tackle their outer and inner demons. Giggity. Ding! Ah, Francesca. The evil cunt didn't snap Mr. Sorry. The evil cunt didn't snap Mr. Hungerford out of it, unfortunately. It's strange. At times he appears almost awake, but he is deep in some kind of trance, and I can't get anything out of him. He seems to be searching for something. I'm beginning to suspect this is beyond my skill set, but I'm not willing to give up so easily. I know it's a bad idea, but I'm going to need a sleep vessel to get me through this week. Alright. Can we eventually get the story behind your scar? Because it looks kind of cool. As she looks down at the scar immediately as I mention that. Ma'am, are you listening to me? Alright, sleep vessel. What do we got? Which I initially read as sheep vessel. So I know that that's now incorrect, now that I've reread it. The 6 points of a sheep vessel are said to represent the 6 thaumic disciplines. Selenic, Dradic, Noctic, Diurnal, Wixic, and Mentic. They help people to stay awake beyond any natural limits by storing their fatigue. Over time and repeated use, they become more and more difficult to handle, as though the undreamed nightmares within are beginning to seep out. True. You do count... Oop, ding. You do count the sheep to sleep. So, 6 points of a sleep vessel. It's the only information we have. 6 points of a sleep vessel. We have 6 points here. Sense of crackling energy flickers in the depths of my mind. Okay. Protection, 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 RAM. Oh, I don't think that's the one. Probably not. Do we have 6 points elsewhere? That's 4 points. That's 6 points. Bronze, iron. There's darkness to it, as if it holds untold fears inside. Well, that doesn't sound legit. You are 6 points. Nothing to remark feeling-wise. Or smell-wise. Weathered. Hard and cool for the gems. Gold. Yellowy. Gold. Yellowy iron. Great. Okay. You happen to have 6 points. Not quite the 6 points I was thinking of, but you happen to have 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Iron, gray metal flecked with dark red. It's not rust, it's blood. Nice of them to not insinuate or hint. Just straight up, it's blood. Substance flakes off and leaves a mark on my fingertips. Nothing to smell. And it has an energy about it. Great. A vague, undisclosed energy about it. Lick it. Tastes like panties. I keep forgetting this guy exists, but he's only 5-pointed. Okay, so it did say nightmares live inside, but only after extended use. So unless this is holding someone else's untold fears inside, I don't think that's it. 6 points represent the 6 disciplines. Now, the 6 disciplines, I don't think we're going to get anything useful out of that, because those symbols are ridiculously complex, none of which are being represented in any of these. So that doesn't help. So this one is 6 points, 6 points. Technically 6 points, and then 6 points. Crackling energy flickers in the depths of my mind. And I don't think we have any others that are 6-pointed. Do we have literally any other information to go on? Help people stay awake, stores their fatigue, becomes more difficult to handle. I would think that this helped. That was not. Nope. Okay. Hang on. Sheep vessel. 6 points. Represents the thaumic disciplines, but the thaumic disciplines don't Help? So that's kind of useless information. Help people stay awake. Stores their fatigue. Supposed to give you energy, I guess? Does it though? I mean, maybe. When I think stores their fatigue, I don't think gives you energy. I think prevents you from being tired. But you're right, this could work. They are a bunch of circles and triangles for the most part for the symbols. Circles, triangles, various overlapping, a couple diamonds, which I guess are also split into triangles, but yeah. So this kind of sort of works. It feels like more of a protection charm. What is that symbol? Hang on, let's check that symbol. Oops, wrong button. That symbol is insanity. Ah. That feels less appropriate now. Although, if I were to interpret this, there's a bunch of protection wards around the insanity. So protection from insanity. Again, not really sleep related or anything like that. Okay, cool. There's no symbols on this one to help me. Darkness holds untold fears. Doesn't really feel like a sleep award to me. Right. If that symbol was dream related or sleep related or something like that, I would have been all on board with it. But no. Excuse you? You alright there, bud? I broke it. Okay. So, I do believe we are out of demo territory. Which means any prior knowledge I have is exhausted. Much like this ward's attempt to prevent. However, I don't know for sure. Does this symbol mean anything? Eyeballs. A pointy eyeball. To me, means stay awake. Does that have a symbology to it? Pointy eyeball. No. No, it does not. It has an energy about it. True. And this is somewhat a vessel. It's a bloody pointy hand crown thing in a bowl. So, it kind of sort of works. Ma'am, for your own sanity, I hope this isn't your thing. It is not your thing. Okay. I should slow down and think through this more carefully. Thanks, game. With your complete lack of clues. Now, this is a vessel. However, probably not the one we're looking for. This is a vessel. There are no points to it. Seems to make the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Alright, fair enough. We've already determined this one. This is the Shadow Hold. This is another vessel. Well, I guess it's not a vessel. It's more like a stony teardrop thing. This is a vessel. Strong odor, and when I shake it, it rattles. Great. Okay. They're all pointless. Exactly, they're all pointless. Okay. Don't look at me, eyeball. Don't look at me like that. Huh. Huh. And we don't have anything in here that would work. Fills me with a sense of foreboding. Oh, wait. Let's try this one. Out of curiosity. That was not it. And my sense of dread for the day is rising drastically. The tree has 6 points? Oh no. Rough and gnarled wood. You. White paint. White paint. Okay, so the symbols. Moon and X in a box. X in a box. X in a box. Which sign? Great. Do we have standalone moon symbols? Silver. Silver and which sign? Great. Okay, cool. You have far more than 6 points. So we have tried this one, and we have tried this one. 6-pointed eyeball. The eyeball symbol made me think maybe. No, Volona, we are not winning. We are not winning at all. The game is vexing me with its obscure patterns and hints and stuff. Can I get you to go away? No. Okay. I tried. Right. Right. Hint. I hate it. You motherfucker. Alright. Fine. Be that way. We'll try this one. Untold fears held inside. Sure, why not? Do it. Great. That was the sleep vessel somehow. Closer inspection reveals the darkness inside. How was I supposed to know that there was supposed to be darkness inside? You motherfucker. It comes pre-nightmared, apparently. Deal with you later. Symbol. That's sure. that one, I'm sorry, that one was not properly clued. That one was far too obscure to be useful. Althea O'Shea. Many years ago I owned a silent breath, but it was already old when I inherited it, and its power died soon after. It's about time I replaced it. Althea O'Shea. That was quite the name. You want a silent breath, you say? Ah. Now, before I read anything, I should know which one this is. But is it? There are those that consider the white hart a prize to be claimed, but there is no glory to be had from killing such a noble guardian of the forest. A silent breath contains a small token taken from a living white stag. While the stag lives, the item will retain its power, allowing the bearer to sense danger before it arrives. So, how misleading is this going to be? So be able to sense danger is probably a key takeaway from that. It says it contains a small token taken from the living white stag. So probably not reminiscent of the actual stag. Because this has no sensory feelings to it whatsoever, made of clay. So what do we have instead that might have a token taken from a white stag that is still living currently? Not the tooth, because we already got the tooth. This one does clink and clank. Nothing to remark, though. Ah, this one. Cold. Great, thanks. Silver glass filled with a blue liquid and a white hair. And makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, which would be a form of danger sense. So this one feels legit. So again, image very misleading. Image like, hey, go look for the stag thing. No, no, not at all. Okay, so you are going to be the silent breath. So this one I'm thinking in terms of the old saying, the hair of the dog. Give you a white, give you fancier, and do we have a symbol for danger? Dangerous. Do we have a symbol for danger? Deception, death, insanity, confusion, paralysis, poison, strength, truth, wisdom, weakness, protection. Foresight. I thought I saw foresight. Be able to sense danger. Foresight, perhaps. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, pushing buttons. Foresight. I need the eyeball. There we go. Alright, here you go. Good. A potential trophy from a white stag. It refuses to clarify even in the confirmation description. Elva stones can be used to relive the discomfort caused by otherwise incurable ailments such as Braxis or burning blood. Why would you want to do that? Oh, sorry. Relieve, not relive. Got it. The planetary metal used in these items is associated with the Selenic discipline, a connection that is also reflected in their design. I misread that, and one dropped letter was enough to drastically change the implications of this item. You skip one E, and it goes from relieve to relive. Oh boy, English is difficult sometimes, just saying. Alright. Rufus. Wait, Rufus. Wasn't he from the previous game? I've always wanted to try Daedalus Link. I have a personal interest in the celestial branch, so I'm not completely new to such things, nor am I ignorant of the risks. And now I have a good reason for it. I need to take care of some roof repairs, and this would seem the safest way to approach it. So he wants the Daedalus link, which was the thing that gives the levitation. So let's read on it just to be sure. Powerful object capable of producing a levitation field. The field is extremely fragile, so it would be prudent not to take risks. These items are surprisingly light in weight. Their designs vary, but they might point to some facet of flight, a feather or the wings of a bird or insect, for example. So, we have a few possible clues, and I suspect some of them are misleading. I kind of have a suspicion that this itself is misleading because it's floating. It's stone, it's rough and pitted, no other anything. It's currently floating, which truly makes me think that it does have levitation field capabilities, but the description says that it should point to some facet of flight, feather, wings, insect, etc. So that's got feathers. Technically got feathers, but we've already identified it. Batwing, bird. None of these are giving me any senses or feelings. How heavy is the feather pot? That's a good question. So let's go with the half weight, because the half-pound weight should be some indication. This thing is technically lighter than a half-pound. The bat is heavier. The bird is very light, like significantly lighter than this stone. Okay. The feather pot, missed entirely, is hella heavy. Owl's irrelevant. So, we have two possibilities here. We have the actually floating item, and then we have the lightweight bird. How did that candle get up there? I don't remember doing that. Okay. So, I don't think I can fail one more time. I might be able to fail once, but from the gauge, it looks like one more fail is bad. So, do we take the item that is actually levitating? Or do we take the item that fits the description better? Because this one fits the description. Lightweight. Looks like bird. Probably related to the bird levitation link. Or the actual item that is actually, honest to goodness, levitating. Related to levitation. I'm on the fence on this one. Because I know they're trying to mislead me. I know it. But I don't know which way they're trying to mislead me. Are they trying to mislead me about the bird theme? Or are they trying to mislead me by saying that it should have a bird theme, but it's not because it's actually levitating? I'm gonna go with the bird. It was the bird. Bird motif connection to flight. Very, very lightweight. So this thing fit all of the descriptions, which would normally be fine because it fits all the descriptions. But the fact that they made me discount the actually levitating item relating to a levitating item is very rude of them. Very rude and uncalled for, sir. Swear to God. The Clussy Purifier? I don't even want to know. I refuse to read that. I don't want it. Okay, so you are my actual... You can be grayish. You can be that one. You don't even deserve a symbol. You get out of my hair. You also have failed me. You don't even deserve anything other than question mark. Okay, let's actually read what it said. Cusic or Cusic Purifier. A small topaz gemstone known as the Eye is placed in a strong-smelling liquid, usually some potent barley spirit or vinegar. Small tokens such as rings or amulets, perhaps, submerged in the liquid and left for a full cycle of the moon, are cleansed of simple imbued curses or hexes. Of course, there is a limit to the effectiveness of this process. So that kind of makes me remind me of this bottle. Because clanky clanky, something inside. And it has a strong odor. So this might be the Cusic Purifier. The symbol might help too. Vinegar. It's a symbol of vinegar, which also sort of matches the description. Barley spirit or vinegar. So this is the Cusic Purifier. And then let's give it the symbol. I don't need to give it the symbol. It's got the symbol on the label. That's good enough. Let's give you... You can be green to match your thingy. There. I don't even need to put a question mark on it. That one matches all of the signs and symbols. The fact that there's something in it, though, is interesting, because the purifier itself is the bottle. The bottle, the process, the vinegar. So what is inside being purified is a different question. Unless the small topaz gemstone is also part of the purifying process, and then small tokens like rings and whatnot also go in with the topaz, well, that would make sense if the topaz is part of it. Because I first read this as the topaz was being purified, but no, if the topaz itself is part of the purification process that goes into the vinegar along with the ring, then that makes sense. Okay. But either way, we have our Cusic Purifier. Great. This day better be over soon. I don't have any more fails in me. Hello, Edmund. How are you? The ravens are back, I see. Looks like it's going to be worse this time. After speaking to Verona, I've come to extend an open invitation to visit Gleeson Castle. My family has lived there for generations, and I know there are artifacts there that would be of use to you, gathering dust in hidden corners. All I ask is that you stay out of the South Tower and the master bedroom. That's where we use the Cusic Purifier. And run anything you find by me first, of course. Okay. Haha, closed end day. Alright, what we got? Ah. We get to go elsewhere. Neat. So we get to now be in the town of Undermere, or the castle. Neato. And then the other thing, here's something to get you started. Walk past the main staircase and turn left. Follow that corridor down to the end and go through the door to the left. There's a small plinth in the center of that room with an item on it that you are welcome to. I never did like it anyway. I don't think we can travel after the end of day. Let's find out. We can. Neat hedgerows and worn pillars frame the space. Gravel crunches underfoot, the only sound in the otherwise quiet courtyard. There is no reason to linger. Alright then. So we can travel at end of day. But I don't want to fail. Because I don't want to trigger any more fails. So we're just going to do this. At the end of a long passageway, after days spent clearing away dangerous rockfalls, the duo came upon a chamber. In it, they found a small stone tomb, too small to contain human remains. Alright, what did you guys get yourselves into? Oh, that was small. I'm going to need to look for a building of that shape. Great. Great. That's very specific. Alright. So let's check Undermere first and see if we can find that building. Because, good golly. Alright. Oh, it could be a room in the castle. Do we have a room in the castle of that shape? Several, actually. This one's one of them. Yeah, let's pull you up. In fact, I think that might be very specifically shaped and sized. That is perfect. Let's go there. Whoosh. A portrait of some dead lord eyes me suspiciously as I enter the room and start absent-mindedly opening drawers. The room is cold and austere, and I am about to leave when I spot a crate under the chest of drawers. This could be something. Okay. It does indeed look like something. Yep, that looks like a something to me. Ma'am, you can go over here. You can go down here. Okay. So let's see if we can follow these instructions. Bring you down here. Go to here. Okay. Walk past the main staircase. So first off, where's the main staircase? Walk past the main staircase. Turn left. Follow that corridor down to the end. And go through the door on the left. The plinth is not hard to spot in the corner of the room next to a small writing desk. A glass jar houses the object mentioned in Edmund's note. As I gather the item and turn to leave, my eye is drawn to a green book on the desk. The author's name is of particular interest. I pick it up and find Edmund on my way out, who encourages me to take it with me. I try to insist on paying for it at least, but he won't entertain the idea. Okay. I got a book! Gemstones and Their Thermic Properties by Eli White. Lovely. And a thing. Cool. Book. And a thing. You can go right there. Oh, that kind of lines up. Crescent shape short, crescent shape medium, crescent shape tall. If only I could fit her in there too. Perfect. Look at that little happy crescent shaped family. Could be an Isis. Could be. Alright, let's read you. Gemstones and Their Thermic Properties by Eli White. Oh. Right. Amber, diurnic. Yellow or orange, sometimes containing impurities. The sunstone, fire and light, heat and life. Amethyst, wixic. Purple, stone of containment. Aquamarine, Dradic, blue or pale blue or turquoise, a stone of water. Bloodstone, Wixic, dark green or black with flecks of red, a dark stone for dark purposes. Iolite, diurnic, dark bluish purple, a calming stone of peace and safety. Jade, Dradic, green, stone of the earth and of nature. Cryonite, Mentic, blue, an anchor between body and mind. Malachite, Mentic, dark green, striated, the fourth eye, a stone of sight. Moonstone, Selenic, pearly opalescent, usually pink or off-white, a stone of protection and enveloping night. Obsidian, Dradic, black, volcanic glass, a stone of fire and fury. How many are there? Okay. I was almost done. My patience wore thin. 3 before the end. Onyx Noctic, black striated, a stone of night and of darkness. There are some who fear it and some who are seduced by it. Topaz Wixic, pale yellow, stone of strength. And Vivianite Noctic, dark blue-green, a stone of death and decay. It grows on iron coffins and waterlogged corpses. Alright, fair enough. Do we not have those anymore? I mean, I used to go to... I used to find rock collections like this. At least one place I found them was at... It was like a visitor center in Colorado in the mountains. And it was just like a visitor center. And it had various Native American trinkets. It had a big tray of polished stones to collect. You could build your own little baggie of stones. That was kind of neat. Also, I used to go to New Age conventions often for like a decade when I was younger. And there was always gems, trinkets, crystals, all sorts of fun stuff. So I had a collection of most of these stones, actually. I had a topaz, I had an onyx. I don't remember if I had an obsidian. I had moonstone. I had plenty of malachite because I love the color. Didn't have any cryonite. I had some jade. I had some iolite. I had at least some aquamarine. I know I had a lot of bloodstone. I had tiger's eye. I had a lot of amethyst. I had at least a small piece of amber. So yeah, I had a lot of stuff. Oh, you had a bunch of dyed stones. Yeah, dyed stones were pretty common too. Stones that were of wacky colors and whatnot. They're still pretty, but they're not the original stone varieties. Yeah, hematite rings were definitely a big trend. I don't know if they still are, but yeah, very brittle. Very easy to crack and shatter. I had one. It did not last long. Okay, so we have explored his bedroom. Sorry, we have explored his back alley room here, and then the undisclosed room here. He kind of hinted that we can just kind of go wherever and hunt for stuff. I don't know if we're supposed to, though. Mars in winter, rising in summer. Lots and lots of symbols. Birds, north direction is that way. To the vaults. Lots and lots of symbols. Oh, let's go random place. Let's go to the ballroom. A long dining table fills a room more often used for intellectual dinner parties than dancing. Still, it holds a sense of occasion, but there's nothing to find here. Hopefully, randomly exploring his abode does not give me failures. This room. Wasting my time. Boo! That one actually gave me a failure. Boo, I say. Boo! I wanted this. There. You can go in there. I was not paying attention to where he said we couldn't go. Sir. Stay out of the south tower and the master bedroom. So south tower being Hardwick Tower, I guess, because this is north, therefore this is south. Yeah, that's so there are two towers that I can go in. This one's labeled as Hardwick Tower. This one is unlabeled. Never mind, there's several towers. this direction is south. So I guess that would be the south tower? Or would this be the south tower? Because this is north, therefore this is south? So this is the south tower? Because this would be more of like an east tower, and this would be a west tower. Because I'm trying to reorient my brain crooked sideways because this is frickin' north. Yeah, he could have just been like red X. You can't go there. Alright. I'm not gonna dink around in his castle for now until we get more hints of where we should go. Because I don't need to get dinged repeatedly. Maybe we'll do exploration at the end of the day to fill out whatever sanity bar I have left. Pet the kitty. Ring the bell. Hello, David. Welcome back. Not sure about this fog today. It's an eerie atmosphere out there, especially with those damn ravens back again. It's usually fierce black dogs I've got to worry about, not big black birds. Better off inside, I reckon. Okay. Now that he mentions fog, I now realize we are no longer raining, and I don't get my pretty rain, but that's okay. The triangle has intrigued me ever since I first heard about it as a young boy. I'm sorry, what? Dude's intrigued by basic geometric shapes. What caused the pine trees to grow like that? Did someone plant them? I know you'll at least have heard of it, but did you know this? I calculated the exact center point, and there's a small clearing there. It can't be a coincidence. What's more, there is a certain energy about it. Not entirely welcoming, either. I wonder if you might take a look for yourself? Mr. Pope and Hamish. Okay. Which triangle are you speaking of? Where you speak of triangles, sir? Because there's plenty of wooded areas to go. The triangle number 6. There's a triangle. That's a triangle. Oh hey. Heath Wood. Sure enough, as I approach the center of the curious triangular copse at the heart of the Heath Wood, I come across a clearing. A tree that has been split in two stands at the center. Sunlight breaks through, and I take a deep breath of cleansing pine and earth. Oh. Almost immediately, I'm struck by a sense of ominous power, and my intuition tells me that there is something unusual here at the heart of the wood. I examine the broken tree and notice some strange markings carved into the trunk. Heart beating faster, I spot something else embedded in the wood. 3 pendants arranged in a triangle shape. Great. I got pendants. 3 pendants in a triangle shape, you say. Do these 3 pendants matter here? Worth a try. And I don't feel like trying all the various combinations. Fucking trees, man. Okay, so you go over here. You. And you. Great. Now, as soon as they tell me I need to find something hand-shaped, I've got a chore ahead of me. Because we've got several hand-shaped things now. Alright, what, hang on, gotta... I gotta charge my phone. It's almost dead. Shh. I don't know if you can see that. That's where Gila got me earlier. He drew blood. I shaved off a part of my hand. So I'm definitely going to need to clip him soon. Unfortunately, I usually wait until blood has been drawn before I realize I need to clip the cats. But that's on me. I never blame them for it. But still, it's unfortunate that that's what I do every time. Oh, we're also stretching. Okay, I can do stretchies. Well, yeah, he got me good. Okay. He is very effective. He shaved it off, and it didn't even bleed for like 20 minutes. It was just a shiny spot. He made sure that no blood could flow for a while. That is one thing I have learned, though, from having cats. I guess not really learned, but I have acquired an ability to not flinch from small pains. Because there have been many times where I have been stabbed by cats over the years. Stabbed, sliced, shredded, and otherwise poked and prodded. And many people wince and jerk away and whatever from small pains. And I am now not immune, but desensitized. So, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it has happened nonetheless. Hello, Gus. How are you doing? It's been many years since I performed the rite of the red knives, but I can still remember every step. That sounds ominous. I'd do it one more time before I die if I could only get my hands on an Orford spire. I tried that place in Arnside, and they sent me here. Alright. Let's find out what an Orford spire is. It's the rite of red knives. My money's on this one. Just right off the bat, without knowing anything else about what he wants. My money's on the blood pointy thing. Orford spire. During the rite of the red knives, an Orford spire is fully submerged in goat's blood for 9 days and 9 nights. When performed correctly, the rite is said to impart vitality and clarity of thought, although perhaps not for the goat. Alright. Okay. So, submerged in blood, and it looks like it's got pointy things sticking out. So, my money's on this one. Orford spire. Yeah, that one. No two ways about it. That one was pretty easy. 2 points of the item are visible in the sketch. Closer inspection reveals dried blood, suggesting this item has been submerged in blood. Go figure. Amphesian Talon? The League of the Amphesian Heart uses these items as part of its grim initiation rite. They guard their secrets closely, but it is said that they worship the ancient nameless gods, communing with them via the broken path. Acolytes must press the tip of a talon hard against their cheekbone to the point of drawing blood. They perform this act nightly for 49 days, 7 sevens, after which the scar will forever mark them. Great. Good for you guys. Bye. Have fun with your blood rite. Poor goat. Don't know if I have a symbol for this one. Is that 3 claw marks? That is a good question. She does have the claw scraps on her face. That's a very good question. You also get the blood moon. There you go. It's pointy, it's bleeding, it's fine. Alright. Now, If I were to come back to this game several days, weeks later, I will have no idea what any of these mean. So we're going to need to finish this in a very quick manner, or I'm going to have a hard time remembering the bullshit that we've come up with for these. I'm going to come back sometime later and be like, what the fuck was a Clussy Purifier? There was something I was thinking of. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There's definitely going to be some hint as to which one I'm supposed to use to open that, but it's fine. Welcome back, Eli. Do you want your store back yet? No. Okay. I need to go away again for a few days. The Order of the Black Veil will have the information I'm looking for. They seek to understand the world beyond death, drinking an elixir that sinks them into a deep trance. If I'm right, they may be able to shed some light on these events. The only problem is, I burned that bridge long ago. Could you hand me that Guise of Lithiana? Oh, Jesus. The Guise of Lillian. There we go. It won't be the first time I've used one to get around their hatred of me. Sir, this is your store. You should be coming in here and grabbing what you're looking for. Or at the very least, pointing me at the one that you want. Could try the U-shaped statuette. Guise of Lillian. These items can allow the bearer to pass unrecognized. If used for any length of time, the wielder can begin to lose their sense of self. The remains of bygone creatures have been used in thaumaturgy for centuries, from petrified teeth and bones to trilobites, ammonites, and devil's toenails. I'm not familiar with devil's toenails. The Guise of Lillian is one such item that makes use of this ancient source of power. I do believe that's this one. Appears to be a fossilized creature. Stone. Rough and pitted, hard and ridged. Smells of nothing. Notice a slight out-of-body feeling, like my hands belong to somebody else. So this is very much it. So this is the Guise of Lillian. Tenebrin Cloak. Upon activation of a Tenebrin Cloak, can create a sphere of enshrouding darkness that will cloak all within its reach. A single stone set in bronze gives power to these totems. What's wrong button? A single stone set in bronze. This one? Seems legit. Oops. Sure. We'll label it for now. And then you. Oops. Eyeball. Guise of Lily. Oh no. I had to check. Yep. Oh, I can only do one? Okay. That's fair. Fair. Alright, still don't have any clues to follow up on. Or don't have any more clues to follow up on, so that's fine. Oh yeah, definitely gonna help him dress up as a lady. And you know, whatever he does in his off time, claiming to have a purpose to do it or not, it's up to him. Oh, new lady. Rebecca Rose. Hello. Oh, is that a cat? My eyes may have completely gone now, but it's good to know I still have my cat senses. She is a crazy blind old cat lady. I do hope I'm in the right place. My daughter told me about a shop that specializes in unusual items. My life's joy has always been painting. Without that in my life, I'm afraid I'm at a bit of a loss. I know that I will never see again, but is there anything in your collection that might help me paint again? I feel foolish for asking. It seems such a small thing, but to me it means everything. I mean, I have a pointy thing made of blood that you can paint with. That would work, right? Ares, Remnant, or Spirit Eye. Let's read through these choices and see how awful they are. Ares, Remnant. These objects induce a form of synesthesia, where the colors and tones, light and shadow, can be felt through touch. They are sometimes used by those who work in low-light conditions, such as miners. The gemstones in an Ares Remnant are arranged in the shape of the constellation that shares its name. So that would be the purple stone doodad. That's this one. Okay. Let's just label that. Ramrock. This is typically Ares, right? Okay, let's give you purple. You. Okay, so that's the Ramrock, and then the Spirit Eye is the other one. Oops, wrong button. Spirit Eye is the other one. Yes, that is the mark for insanity, correct. Spirit Eye. There are some who stay away from Spirit Eyes, believing them to be a window into the world that should not be seen, and others who deride their fear as nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show. Another layer beneath the visible world, perhaps, a layer that requires something more than the traditional senses to experience. They draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. So, what I get from this is that if we gave her the Spirit Eye, she may be able to see, but she might be seeing into another dimension or another world, and it might not be pleasant. It's hard to say for sure. So we either give her the ability to see into the underwear, underdark, under there, netherworld, whatever we're going to call it, or we give her the ability to have synesthesia, to have a different take on beauty and life and color. So I'm kind of leaning much towards the synesthesia stone. She's already kind of come to grips with not being able to see. So giving her the ability to see things that are horrible might be a bad plan. Draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. Do I have anything with opposing symbols that we can... I mean, this one, protection and insanity, have opposing-ish symbols. This one has opposing symbols. So let's see what those are. Circle, up, double cross, triangle, down, double cross. Nope, that's not the book. Triangle, down, double cross is phosphorus. That doesn't help much. That doesn't feel like a horrible opposing symbol. And heat. Heat and phosphorus. Okay. This is probably not the one, but it probably means something useful. Heat and phosphorus were the two symbols, I'm pretty sure. Because ice is the pitchfork with the up double cross, whereas phosphorus is the triangle down double cross, although that's the wrong triangle, isn't it? Yeah, so this triangle is a downward pointing triangle. And this is an upward pointing triangle. So where's the other one? I need the downward pointing triangle. Was it cold? Did I miss it? Cold! I did miss it. Okay. So phosphorus and cold? Weird. No, not phosphorus. God damn it, not phosphorus. Not phosphorus. Oh, Jesus. Heat and cold. There we go. I was locked on phosphorus for some reason. Okay. So, I mean, those are opposing symbols. They don't really match the description all that well. We also have this one that has a lot of opposing symbols. Like, a lot of opposing symbols. So let's see. That one and that one. Lightning and wind? Is this all elements? Fog and storm. So lightning and wind, fog and storm. So this one appears to be all elements. And the description really doesn't tell me much. It just says that it lets them see into the other world and draws its power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. How many opposing symbols? Of which meanings? I don't know. I don't want to give it to her anyway, but I wanted to use it to identify something. So we have hot and cold, and then we have a bunch of weather-related symbols. Yeah, there's a lot of symbols. I know. I probably should just take a screenshot of it, but still, symbols. So many symbols. Nothing. Raised detailing, smooth, bronze, green gemstone. Okay, that's fair. Do you have anything to give me? Nothing. Okay, nothing. Polished, carved, smooth, cool, wood, green, wood, bronze. Okay. So I don't think we have enough information to go on for the Spirit Eye, but I want to give her the Ares Remnant anyway, because I think she would more benefit from the Synesthesia Rock, and it's very pretty. It's probably my favorite one out of this whole collection so far. Let's look at the Ares Remnant again, just to be sure. So, tilted, directional. It was this way, okay. Gemstones arranged in the shape of a constellation that shares the name. It was made of gemstones, so that's good. It's got a dark stone, so it even kind of resembles stars in a night sky kind of deal. So I think the Ares Remnant is where we want to go. I mean, they both match the description, though. I mean, hot and cold, opposing symbols. I guess the weather ones are slightly less opposing symbol. Like this was fog and like thunderstorm or something like that. So these are less opposing, I guess. So this does make sense. It just doesn't have... The description in the book doesn't have enough to go on to give me confidence in the selection. But Ares Remnant it is. Ma'am, you may be blind, but you're gonna see some wild things. I could put a question mark, yet. Scythian Charm. Now we're dealing in the Sith. Great. Older Scythian charms are carved out of wood, but more powerful designs make use of the planetary metals. No two are identical. They are used by horticulturists to encourage stubborn plants to thrive. They change with the weather, usually quite cold, but warm and tingly to the touch while it's raining. Interesting. Warm and tingly to the touch when it's raining. I would literally need to pay attention to when it's raining to find out if that's a thing. Because I'm moderately sure I had one that was warm and tingly to the touch when it was raining. I just have no idea which one it was. Okay. So, we were looking at the spirit eye for her. So we'll label you as tentative possible spirit eye. Big ol' fucking question mark on that one. Okay. Pat the kitty. Ring the bell. Those ravens have done for 3 more poor beggars. 2 of them up at Clagarth, and the other fella a fisherman. People are getting a bit panicky around here. Nothing natural about folk turning up with eyes all black like that. And now this fog, too. With the nights drawing in and me working late, I refuse to walk down Holbrook Road without so much as a lantern. I have candles I could sell you. Would you like candles? I had something nice and bright in mind. Ah, he wants a sun bond. The name's Bond. Sun Bond. Sun Bond is a small, lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly and made of non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone of light. They carry the warmth and the light of the sun, a brightness that can pierce the darkest gloom. Now, if this were to make normal sense to me, I'd turn off the lights. That is indeed a candle. Okay. I would turn off the lights and look for the glowing thing and just grab it. Just be done with it. But there's not an option currently that I'm aware of. The artist, Rebecca Rose. Okay, so how do I find the light object? This doesn't have gems, so this isn't it. It said it had a single gem of light. That one's already labeled potentially. Nothing. You were labeled as potentially the Tenebrin Cloak. Orange gemstone bronze. Feels a little warmer than I would expect. Okay, polished. Nothing. So the Sun Bond did say that it feels warm. So this could be it. Small and light, they said. Half a pound-ish. Book of Gems would be useful. Yeah, let's check that out. Fire and light, heat and life. So we're looking for an amber stone, the sunstone. It doesn't help because it just labels it as an orange gemstone, so that's useful. Orange gemstone, cool. It's got to be one of those two though. Because I think those are the only two that I have that have a singular orange gemstone. This one, orange gemstone with wood and gold. It is roughly the same weight as the other one as well. Orange gemstone, wood, polished, warm. Are you serious? They are both warm to the touch. They both have an orange gemstone in the middle. That's true. This was the deafening one. Sounds are muffled. So this is the one that we labeled as the Amble of Deafening because it's got the deafening muffled sound effect. And this one I had labeled as the Tenebrine Cloak because it matched the description at the time. Give. And the description for the Tenebrine Cloak. A single stone set in bronze gives power to the totem. Bronze stone. So, we have many things that are a single stone set in bronze. We have this one. We have this one. I think this one's technically gold. So this one's out of the question. We have this one. We have this one. Single stone set in bronze. We have... thought there was another one. So there's 3 that are a single stone set in bronze that fit the Tenebrine Cloak. This one is a turquoise gem. Stone of water. And then this one is green gem. But not malachite. Could be jade. Didn't look like it was jade though. It looked like it was more of like an emerald, which we don't even have in the book. Because these are all semi-precious stones. This one? This one is bronze, yes. There are stones that have to do with darkness, but they're not green. Bloodstone is dark stone for dark purpose. And then there was... nope. Obsidian is dark, but it is a stone of fire and fury. Onyx is a stone of night and darkness. So it's possible that we don't even have the Tenebrine Cloak item yet. If we're thinking of like an onyx stone in a bronze setting. But this one, being warmer than we would expect, does feel like the sunstone. Let's hey Gila, how are you? See, that's a different meow. This is a different meow that is more of a, hi, I'm awake now. Pay attention to me. Whereas the one from before was, I really fucking need something, come help. So there's very different meows going on here. Alright, here's your sunstone. Take it. Great. Cyrene Ward. Made from basilisk scales, a material known to endure intense heat, these unusual objects can permit the bearer to withstand fire and flame and remain unharmed. They do not, however, offer protection against the deadly basilisk itself. Great, okay. Pet kitty. Ring the bell. Oh, new person. Speaking of which, Audrey Bell. Bend your ears to the trees. Hold your palm out to the wind. The ravens can feel it. Can you? Something is stirring. I will need the Holgen Grim in the coming days. Alright, mysterious lady. Let's see if we can figure out what you need. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holger. Yes, so we've read this one before. Sacrament to ask for his protection, Wolfsong's truth to seek his judgment, and Path of the Warrior to help the dead find their way. So, I'm going to guess that that's all symbology related. Protection symbol, judgment, Path of the Warrior to help the dead find their way. I don't know if we have enough information to go on for that one, symbol-wise or description-wise, because it doesn't tell me what it looks like. It only tells me vague senses of what it could potentially be. Now this one does look maskish. Which stone was that? That's the last stone in the list. The Vivianite. Stone of Death and Decay. Grows in iron coffins and waterlogged corpses. That sounds lovely. It looks sort of right, because in the image they are wearing a mask with horns. So it looks right. But description-wise, it doesn't really seem to fit. I thought at first it was bone, but it is in fact clay painted to look like bone. A dark blue-green gem. Hard and rough, cool and smooth. No smells. It fills me with a sense of foreboding. What's this about Vivian? What now? Yes, Gila. Yeah. Hi. How are you, kitty? You good? Okay, he's good. He just needed me to acknowledge him briefly. Okay. So the thing that concerns me about this Vivianite is it grows on iron coffins and waterlogged corpses. Typically, you wouldn't have gems, etc., growing in any form unless it is something like a water-soluble mineral that ends up depositing like a limestone kind of deal, which is very possible, I suppose. But you would normally need some sort of like super saturated mineral, like if you were growing, crystals of sugar in water or whatever. I dug her up and her remains became this stuff. Interesting. I was not aware of that. I knew nothing of that. So, in terms of the problem we're actually trying to solve, what the hell are they trying to get at here? The only real clues that we have are what appears to be a horned mask that he's wearing. Or the robes that they're wearing. Because it says that they're worn by priests of Holger in various rituals relating to death and the afterlife. I don't think we have any information on various religions. We only have symbology and gems. So I don't have anything to refer to learn more about Holger. Although Heart Chamber relates to Holger. That very much does look Holger-ish. This face very much does look like a Holger. And it does look very much like the face mask that we had. There is a vast skull in the catacombs, said to be that of the beast Blencathra. Holger's followers believed that when he slew it, he trapped its soul, along with its power, in an item known as the Wraith Chamber. Heart chambers are based on this mythical object, but they have morphed over time into a way to keep those dear to us close to the heart after death. Holger, pictured here wearing his twin axes, Wolfsong and Fearbringer. He doesn't seem like a very pleasant fella. Although, I am noticing he has the Tiger's Tooth amulet, and then this one looks to be coffin-shaped, which happens to very closely resemble this one that we've got here. Interesting. I wonder... Hello, kitty. Hello. I wonder if these 3 amulets are the clue to solving this puzzle here. Tooth, whatever the round one is, and the coffin amulet. Because we got 3 in a line here. So this one is round, square. It's got the symbol of the omega on it, which does not appear to line up with those in there. Just squinting closer at it, so we might be still missing one, because I don't see any of these that have omega symbol on them. But if it's right, tooth, omega symbol circle, which we don't have yet, and then coffin, which we haven't unlocked yet. So that might actually be a clue. I'm going to hold on to that in my brain somewhere. Maybe it'll stick. Who knows? It says nothing. It says nothing. It just says it grows on iron coffins and waterlogged corpses. Iron phosphate could make sense, but iron isn't typically blue or green in color. Iron phosphate is fool's gold, which is yellowy gold. So iron phosphate wouldn't quite make a lot of sense. The button on the clock does something. I mean, it flips it over to moon phase, and then pulling this gives us different clock hand configurations and different moon phase configurations. But I don't know what it does yet. Not a clue. So I'm pretty sure this is our depiction of Holger. And I'm pretty sure this is Holgen Grimm. Oops. And we'll give you the Omega symbol, because that's what you're wearing on his necklace that I don't have yet. So why not? It'll make sense right now in my head. It won't make sense later when I ask myself what the hell I was thinking. So, would you like your Grimm mask? Lovely. The mask is an eerie item that can be worn. The sketch shows a priest wearing the mask with their back to us. So that was something we were supposed to infer very wordly. Using the index, we can find a sketch of Holger, to whom the mask bears a striking resemblance. I'm glad I figured that one out, because I wouldn't have thought of that before. Gemstone is Vivinite, a stone of death. So following that clue to look at the index to find a picture of Holger was one that I think I would find obscure, but I thought of it anyway, so maybe it wasn't so obscure. Yeah, the horns were there, but it was very, very obscure and not the obvious focus of the image. Hi. Hi, kitty. Hi. Yeah, how are you? Yeah. Mer. Mer. Meh. 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 Okay. Lead heart. These items depict the god Cernunnos in his non-human form. They are heavier than they look due to the core of lead, hidden by a more modest exterior. They are said to kindle romantic interest and are sometimes given as wedding gifts. Lovely. Was she proposing to me? She gave me the hint of a gift on the wedding day. Okay, so now we can go wander aimlessly in the castle. Just cuz. Just not the towers. I'm going to ignore the towers for now. We've already been to the ballroom. We've been to this room. Oops. Let's go to the kitchen. The smells and sounds of cooking greet me as I enter the castle kitchens. Simmering stews and clinking pots. Hard stairs make my presence conspicuous, so I leave them to it. Fair enough. Let's go to this room next to it. Nothing. Cool. Let's check out the courtyard. Neat hedgerows and worn pillars frame the space. Gravel crunches underfoot, the only sound in the otherwise quiet courtyard. There's no reason to linger. I forgot I have already been to the courtyard. Check out the grand hallway. Just walk in the front door. A grand staircase spirals upward on both sides, flanked by portraits of noble faces with hollow eyes that seem to follow my every step. Okay. Great. Let's check out this symbol room. Wasting my time here. Okie dokie. Let's check out this symbol room. Nothing. Cool. Let's check out the rooms in between. Nope. Let's check out the other room in between. Nothing. Let's check out this room. Okay. Let's check out... I've already checked out the ballroom, so this little middle segment is done. Conservatory. Potted plants line the edges. Wren, Jacobsworth, and camphor among them. It's peaceful, save for the distant chirp of birds. But it's time to move on. Wait, are you saying the distant chirp of birds is not peaceful? Come on. Okay, did I do the room in between the kitchens or next to this? Let's do it anyway. That's fine. Nothing. Okay. So we've done the courtyard. We've done the kitchen, this room, which we were led to originally, and the room next to it. We've done the conservatory and these rooms here. Let's do this room. Nothing. Do this room. Nothing. Okay. I think I have one or two more failures to go before I need to call it a day. I'll go here. Nothing. Nope, that was too many failures. So we'll call it done here for now. I have enough for about a half a failure left. The priest, Audrey Bale. All right. So how's about we do a couple things here? We'll end the day. We'll get our end of day story, and then our end of day drawing situation. And then I probably need to go to bed. Inside was the reason they had toiled so hard. A small black casket. Very valuable small black casket. They knew enough not to open it, but perhaps too little to fully understand the danger it posed. So again, we're still following the trail of two guys who were on the run from somewhere to somewhere, and they stumbled upon... Well, it made it seem like they were looking specifically for something. They spent lots of time attempting to clear a path to the thing. Okay. So he's riding on his horse. He's exhausted. Or wait. She's exhausted. She's exhausted. He knew they would not survive the night. So this hints at the pair of them, which I didn't quite catch the first time I read it. They're running on their horse. They're running away. They're cold, exhausted, etc. They would not survive the night if they didn't reach Black Barrow. Deep pain on his head. Couldn't see out of his eye. So they're not doing great. And then we get a flashback of 2 days earlier. They were exploring below Kirkhead Tower, and they made a discovery. So I don't know if they were there specifically looking for something, or if they were just exploring and happened to stumble upon something. And then they started digging, clearing passageways, and then found the small tomb with the black casket. And we are about to learn why 2 days later they were running for their lives barely alive. So something happens in the next couple days here where we find out how bad it was for them to unearth that small black casket. So in the first one, the first game, Strange Horticulture, we were following the story of a young girl who escaped an abusive father and turned to dark cultish arts and eventually led down a path of trying to release a great old one to eat everyone, something like that. This one feels more like an accidental discovery that went horribly wrong, but probably not great. Could be a child's coffin, but it sounds like it's something they weren't expecting to find. Up the stairs, left, then left again. Second on the right is where I spend each night. Okay. Great. Love it. Kitty. Pet the kitty. Alright, so that'll be it for tonight. Spooky season has officially kicked off. We still have the Lighthouse game to finish as well, so I'll count that as dipping into spooky season. Rain, you are correct. Oh boy. What were we looking for? Warm and tingly? Cool and smooth. We're looking for warm and tingly. I don't remember what we're looking for warm and tingly for. Somewhat painful. Great. Warm and tingly, warm and tingly. Weathered. Weathered. Warm and vibrating with energy. Now, what was that for? What was that for, though? What was it for? It was for... it wasn't the heart chamber, was it? Let's label it warm and tingly in the rain. Spirit Eye? Okay. Label you. There we go. Hang on, we need question marks on that just so I can remind myself that that's what that's for. There we go. We'll figure out what that was for later. Okay. So, again, that'll be it for tonight. We're doing good. We've got through what appears to be about a third of it, give or take. So we'll be a couple more nights of this. I'm going to try to do this fairly quickly and not spread it out too much, because I know if I do it like once a week or less, I will not remember all of the things. So we're going to try to plow through it as quickly as we can, while also spreading it out a little bit. I have a very long list of games, and by all means throw your votes and comments about those games in the Discord, because I need to pare that down a little bit. I know there's one, the Still Wakes the Deep is the one that I really want to get done, because Midnight's been asking for that for a while, and I've also been wanting to do it for a while, so that was one I definitely want to do. There are quite a few others that I want to do as well, so we'll see how many we can get through this season, the spooky season. Put the plant one in there for later. Good, thank you. So yeah, I'm done for tonight. I'm gonna go to bed. Ducks, Iron Ninja, thanks for hanging out and lurking. Anyone else lurking out there? Appreciate y'all being there. And I will see y'all next time. Bye!